Right, so the next person that I am going to complain about is PC6209J Bent. Bent being the operative word. So PC Bent has not had any contact with me. Now, normally when you report anything, they normally contact you and say, you've reported this, have you got anything else you'd like to add? Which I would do, because obviously, firstly, I don't have 5,000 hours to sit and write a full report. Secondly, there's always a lot more to put. And thirdly, there's always more evidence available. So being the police and the fact that they don't want to properly investigate this and they want to target a vulnerable adult because they're bullying me, they've bullied me for, more than 3.5 years, the police, and they're allowing crime to happen against me. They're constantly covering it up due to my neighbours' jobs. Now, like I've said in previous videos, all of this is now going to be made public to the newspapers. The police are pushing and pushing and pushing me and allowing crime to happen against me. So PC Bent has not even contacted me because they can't be bothered, because they've basically been told, probably by powers higher up, not to engage with me because I will be able to prove a lot of these things are happening and a lot of these things are done to target me. Now, seeing as the police are not going to deal with this, I'm going to be dealing it with myself, because I am going to make this public and the public can decide what these people who work in jobs with vulnerable adults and children are doing to me. They've terrorised me and made my life a living hell for misery. I've got crime numbers, but they're not treating it properly. If a crime number is given, the police are meant to contact the victim. They're meant to discuss everything that's gone on, ask if there's any more that you've not put in your statement or whatever. Well, it's not in a statement, your report, whether it's online or on the phone. Now, this has not been done by PC Bent. PC 6209 Bent, and this has not gone via Hutton either, which it's meant to do. PC Bent has basically done this without it going via anyone else, because PC Bent has clearly been told by his supervisor, and I believe everything I'm saying to be true because I've had to suffer from the police abuse of power for a very long time now. Now, PC Bent, you're bent, copper. Basically, me and my dad have just discussed this. So basically, you've not contacted me at all. And by the way, this was sent on Thursday the 6th of June, right? What's the date today? Is it the 11th? It's now the 11th. So there's no hurry, is the PC Bent, because, you know, you've not spoken to me, you've not tried to engage with me, you've not asked me about these incidences that you're apparently doing. Because basically you don't want me to prove it. You've not looked at CCTV, you've not spoken to witnesses, you've not asked me for more evidence, you've not asked me for more information. You've just basically read an online report where you can't put much information, and you basically, because you've clearly been told to basically make it go away, because I know how this works and I'm not having it, and all your actions now are pushing me further and further to give all the evidence to the newspapers of everything that's gone on. That includes everything from 3.5 years ago until this date, including who's done it, what they've done, what the police have done, what the police have not done, how the police have targeted a vulnerable adult, let people in powers of position in public-facing roles with around vulnerable adults and vulnerable children to target me and terrorise me and make my life a living hell. So basically, this letter's a load of BS. It's full of misinformation. So here, I'll tell you something right here, right now. So PC Bent, I'm going to talk about an incident from the 20s. Well, it wasn't on the 27th of the 5th, so you've made up a date. And you've basically said that there's no CCTV. There is CCTV available, not only of the entire incident from when it started, which you were aware of, but you're basically making out that there isn't CCTV available on public roads, because there is CCTV available on public roads. But like I've said, you're trying to cover up the crime against me. You're belittling me. You're insulting my intelligence. You're insulting me as a person. You're targeting someone you know is severely depressed and suicidal due to the police's action and due to my neighbour's actions on this street involving 3 main households who you protect due to their jobs. Now, there is CCTV everywhere. Everyone has CCTV. The CCTV on streets, on main roads, which you have access to. Now, you've not done your investigation properly, because if you'd done your investigation properly, which you're obviously trying to avoid, you would have gone where I've said these things have happened, and you would have looked round for any kind of CCTV, whether it's owned by the council, whether it's owned by businesses, whether it's owned by people's houses, whether it's owned by anyone. Now, that would be the first line of an investigation. If someone said, this happened here, your first line of investigation would be, right, let's go to the scene of where this apparently happened and let's look around to see if there's any form of CCTV. That would be what an investigation would be, right? You've not investigated this at all. You've just decided, or you've been told, to make it look like you're doing an investigation. Now, here's what an investigation is, right? Firstly, you get the report, you read through the report, then you probably would contact the person who's made the report. Now, seeing as PC Bent, you've not contacted me. Firstly, you've not done the first line of inquiry, which would be to contact the victim. Now, seeing as I'm the victim and the police clearly don't want to do anything to help me, this proves yet again how corrupt this police force is and in allowing crime to happen against me, because you, as a PC who's probably trained, are not doing your job, and you're singling out a vulnerable adult and letting people in positions of power to target a vulnerable adult, making her more suicidal, affecting her health. You sent me a abusive email letter, because I see it as abuse, because you've read my reports where I'm talking about how I feel, how I'm being made to feel, how I've been suicidal due to my neighbours and due to the police lack of action, yet you decided it was appropriate to send me a letter where it proves that you've not done a proper investigation, that you've just read a report, come to a conclusion without investigating it, and then sent me an insulting letter that's took almost a week to arrive. Now, firstly, like I said to you, the CCTV available. Now, your job would to be to talk to me, and to talk to the other witness, because if you actually read the report, there was a second person involved who witnessed everything. But no, you don't want to speak to that person, because what that would do, that would corroborate what's actually been said. And you don't want there to be any kind of corroboration, do you not, PC Bent 6209? So PC Bent has just proved here he is aware, or she, because obviously they've not identified who they are, because they've not actually bothered to contact me. And they basically only put their initial because they don't want me to know who or what they are, because they could be a man, a woman, they could be non-binary, they could be anything. So they basically stopped me from finding out who they are. So that's wrong. Really, you should be identifying yourself by your full name. And also, you should be contacting me, which you're not doing, because the police won't contact me, because the police don't want me to tell them what's actually happened, because they want to make sure that whoever's doing it is going to get away with it. And we do all believe this is true. Now, it's not just me on the street that's being affected by the behaviour of other people. And also, I'd like to point out, I'm not the reason the police are investigating faking antisocial. Well, they're meant to be doing the antisocial behaviour on the street and investigating it. And I got accused of being behind that. Now, seeing I was in hospital at the time due to my neighbour's behaviour towards me, I knew nothing of that. So they can stop targeting me. And I will be telling the papers about this and proving what they've put me through since I was released from hospital, and that what this J Bent is trying to cover up. So PC Bent, you've not actually done your job. In fact, I think I know who you are, and that way it makes sense why you're doing this. So this report, which apparently happened on the 27th of the 5th, when it didn't happen on the 27th of the 5th, there was a second person available, and you've put this cannot be evidence as a CCTV covering blah 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 blah. So it's just rubbish. There's loads of CCTV available, and there's CCTV available all over the place, right? You've not done that. Now, I have some evidence, but you've not bothered to contact me at all, because you don't want to contact me in case I do have evidence. And also, in the report, which you bothered to totally ignore, there is actually a witness. So, PC Bent, firstly, the IOPC is going to be informed, and we all know it's going to go to unprofessional standards, but as soon as they've done their fake investigation and sided with you, I will be pushing for the IOPC to investigate your conduct here, because it's not just this report, it's every single report that you've apparently investigated, but you've not investigated at all, because you've been told to basically do this. Now, making me more suicidal is obviously targeted behaviour from the police, who are completely complicit in targeting me, allowing my neighbours to abuse me, make me petrified, affect my mental health, affect my physical health, and they're protecting them due to the roles that they do. Now, the public have a right to know who's doing what they're doing to me, and this is why the papers are going to obviously publish a story. J Bent, you're out of order. Go away, don't harass me again, and I will be putting complaints in. Do not contact me again. It's an abuse of power.